Okay, and we are live. So we got a couple bowls here. Today we're gonna make a fall hot chocolate bomb. And we're gonna make, I've never done an Acorn hot chocolate bomb before, so I wanted to try out this mold and see if I could actually put two of them together. So that's what we're doing today. First off, we're gonna start with some dark chocolate melting wafers and some of these white vanilla melting wafers. A good amount of our dark chocolate, and then we're going to do some white plus a couple pieces of the dark. Just a couple to start, 3 if you will, and then we can add some more after we melt it and see how the color looks. We want it to be a nice kind of light brown color to make sure that there's a good difference between these two colors. So we're going to try that and start to melt these at 30 seconds. Okay, and like I mentioned, this is a new mold that I got, so I'm very excited to finally give it a try. And like I said, I'm going to try and put 2 of them together. If they don't work, then each one of these can just be a kind of hot chocolate bomb with a flat bottom. But it's really cute. Of course, it's from Joann's because I always find fun molds there. So of course that doesn't do very much. It's gonna need some more, but we wanna make sure to stir in between each time so that it does not burn. Okay, pop these back in there. Okay. Today I might want to add some mini marshmallows, possibly. But we shall see. Maybe I'll grab some of my, I always like to fill it with some kind of marshmallow. Hi! Thank you for joining. This is our second round of melting in the microwave. Still got a little ways to go. I think I'm just gonna start to focus on this because I'm only gonna be able to do like one at a time. So we're gonna start to focus on melting this one first, a little bit more. And let's give this a mix. We're going for a nice kind of light brown with the bottom of our acorn. It still looks too light, but I know that the chocolate ones still haven't fully melted yet. So we're gonna have to wait and see if we need to add a couple more of those or not. Okay, that's looking a lot better. Still a couple little pieces in here that are not melting down just yet. So we're gonna pop that back in there for another 15 seconds or so just to finish off those last couple pieces. Okay. And then we'll work on that part. I'll stick this back in the microwave so that can continue melting for a little bit. With that one, we're going to do closer to 20 seconds because it is more melty. Okay, that looks pretty good to me. Okay, here is our mold. And we're gonna do these two. Like I said, we might not be able to actually put them together, but we're gonna try. So we're gonna start with my food brush here, because we're gonna wanna brush it up the sides and kind of fill in little spaces. See a little bit better, and then we're just going to brush it right along that line and then up the sides. I'm going to try to make sure it doesn't go over that line too much. I'm trying to make sure you keep with the shape of the mold here with our colors. There we go. And this part, I usually just kind of fill in like these little pieces right here a little bit more because I want to make sure that that doesn't break off. Okay, and we can go back and add a second layer just to reinforce everything. So let's grab our offset spatula so we can smooth this top. Okay, now we're gonna repeat with this one right here. Okay. And fill in our little space right here. Okay, that looks good. And now we're gonna grab our other color. And fill in the second half. Okay, let's check on how our color's doing. Okay, so again, for people just joining, this is mostly the white melts, and then I added just a couple of, or like 3 of the little dark chocolate melting wafers. to give it this nice kind of tan color that I think is actually pretty good for our acorn base. I'm gonna roll with this. So it's been sitting there for a little bit. I'm gonna pop this in there for another just 15 seconds to make sure it doesn't start to firm up on me while I'm putting it into the mold. First time catching the live. Thank you so much for being here. I truly appreciate it. We're making hot chocolate bomb today, shaped like an acorn, and we're gonna fill it with some salted caramel hot chocolate powder here. So this is just a fun hot chocolate bomb for our fall season. I will start to post other holiday stuff pretty much as soon as possible, but I definitely want to make sure I get some more fall stuff in here because I love fall flavors. And salted caramel is for sure. I mean, salted caramel is any time of year, but there's something about it during fall that, you know, hits a little bit different. Okay, I'm gonna rinse my brush off really quick. There we go. The chocolate had already started to set. Okay. So we're going to use our brush just like we did before. We're going to add our other color to the base part of our acorns here. Scooch this a little bit closer. Like I did before, just add a little pool of it. And then because we already did the line along that mold, along the mold shape, then we don't really have to worry about that as much because it's already starting to solidify. So we can just brush up and not worry about like, oh, I need to fix the line or anything. So. Okay, and this is a pretty big spot, so we need to add some more. We're going to go back, like I said, and add some more candy melts to help reinforce it, but we just want to make sure that this first layer looks nice. So I brush it up the mold, and then we're going to tap it on the counter to let it kind of sink down a little bit. Okay, that looks good. And we're going to add it to our second part right here. And then we're going to pop this in the freezer to let it set for a couple minutes. Okay, I think a little bit more. Okay, and let's give that a tap on our counter. Not only helps remove air bubbles, but lets it kind of, you know, smooth out, sink down a little bit, and then we'll reinforce the sides in particular. And it doesn't matter that that's kind of going over there because we've already covered it with our chocolate, so it's not going to be visible when we pop it out of the mold. That looks good. Let's stick it into the freezer for just a couple minutes. Okie dokie. And I'm going to clean off my brush to make sure, pardon me, that it is ready for our next round of candy melts. So it's easy enough to just to clean it with hot water and just dry it off pretty thoroughly before sticking it into candy melts. Okay, And I'm going to run really fast and go grab the marshmallow bits because I thought that I had them right here, but I moved them. So I'll be right back. All right, it appears that I might be out of marshmallow bits, but that's okay. I'll just order some more. Today we're gonna do mini marshmallows. Love the acorn and apple. You're in your speaker. Hi, I hope you're having a great day too. Thanks for stopping by the live. And like I mentioned, we're gonna fill it with this yummy salted caramel hot chocolate powder to really add to that, you know, fall flavor feeling. Okay, we're all caught up with the chat. I'm gonna leave it in there for another minute or so just to make sure that it's nice and solid, and then we can add our other layers. I think I'm gonna pop these in there. They're still obviously melted, but I'm gonna pop them in there for another 15 to 20 seconds or so to make sure that they stay nice and warm while I'm using them. Okay. The last stream I was on, but thank goodness I was on your live stream today. Yeah, thank you so much for joining. And what was our last one? Oh, that was the cookie pops. Yes, and then while I'm thinking of it, I believe next week I have something on Friday, so I will be moving the live to a different day during the week, but I will make sure to let you guys know what day that is. I'm trying to make a schedule of days where I can tell you guys like, hey, we're doing it this day, and even possibly plan stuff out ahead of time in terms of what we'll be making. Okay, so here's our dark chocolate melting wafers. Looks good. And this one looks good too. Okay. Let's see how our shells are doing here. Okay. A little bit of stuff that's pooled in the bottom. Still needs another minute or so. Okay. Let's see, next week for our live, I was thinking about doing, I can't remember their name at the moment, but someone requested way back in like August, I think, that we do, I believe it's a Puerto Rican dessert. I might be wrong on that, but I'm pretty sure it's a Puerto Rican dessert called quesitos, and they sound delicious. I looked them up on when she requested them, and they sound really good. They look really good, and they look pretty easy overall to make. So I thought about maybe doing like a fall version of quesitos, and so I think that we might be doing that next week. Some kind of, you know, it's basically like puff pastry, I think, with some kind of like cream cheese filling. And so maybe next week we'll do some like fall puff pastry baking. Are you excited about Thanksgiving and Christmas? You are. I am excited. I always feel like the few days or like week after Halloween, I kind of am like sad that spooky season is over because I love it so much. But I'm kind of like pivoting this year a little bit faster than I was able to last year. So I am getting into, you know, Christmas and all that kind of stuff already. With Thanksgiving, it's kind of like just the, you know, making the food for family and all that kind of stuff. There's not much else that goes on with that, but I do love the fall flavors, like I was mentioning, like pumpkin and apple and caramel and all that kind of good stuff. So I do get very excited about all of that. And I do have a couple tutorial videos that I am working on right now for fall stuff. And then we're going to hop right into Christmas pretty soon after that. So I can't even believe it's like, 3 weeks until, less than 3 weeks actually, until Thanksgiving. And then we will be like right in the thick of holiday planning and all that kind of stuff. So, but I'll give you guys a little sneak peek here. I made some cookie bark that I'll be sharing. And this is with Biscoff cookies and eggnog flavored melts on the top. And I got these really cool Christmas tree sprinkles from Wilton. And this is like a core memory for me of when we decorate our Christmas tree as a kid, or when I was a kid, we would have eggnog while we were decorating. So that's a big memory for me. And then I also have this one that I made because I love peppermint and chocolate, especially during the holidays. I mean, who doesn't love peppermint hot chocolate and peppermint mocha, all that kind of fun stuff. So this one is an Oreo cookie bark, and it has the dark chocolate melts with peppermint flavoring in them. And then these are some fun snowman sprinkles that I got from Wilton as well. So a little sneak peek of some shorts content coming up that I've been working on. Okay. And also, what kind of stuff do you guys want to see? Because I'm making a whole variety of things, but also I'd like to know if you'd like to see anything in particular, especially for the lives. I want to try and make a schedule, like I said, ahead of time to know what we're going to be making. So if you have any requests or recommendations of what you'd like to see, I'd like to know about it while I'm making that schedule. Can you do a video of your Christmas tree? Sneak peek, can I do? Oh, Buckeyes. I've had those before, but I've never made them. That would be interesting. And Christmas tree, once I get organized enough, yes. Yeah, I'm trying to be better about that because I feel like it always kind of like rushes so fast and I can't enjoy the season as much. So I'm really trying to do that more this year. Pardon me, I'm gonna get some water. Even though it's cold, I still have fall allergies, which is really irritating. And again, I have year-round allergies where I live. I thought I could get away from it after spring, but nope. Okie dokie. So we're going to add another layer to our mold here. And it's going to set pretty quickly because the first layer is nice and cold from the freezer. So the main thing is we just want to go and add our second layer very quickly. And it doesn't matter how it looks on the inside because we're going to be melting this and it's going to be completely covered. So we don't have to worry if it looks pretty or anything on the inside here. Okay, and I still want to fill in this little stem to give it more structure here so it's not too difficult. Try to clean that up a little bit. There we go. Okay, and let's do our second one here. Okay, and we're gonna immediately rinse off our brush because once the chocolate starts to set, kind of get stuck in there for a second. Because we want to use that for our second color here. Okay. Oh, and so cute. Thank you so much. Yeah, I was very excited about the bark. I love how fast it is to whip out that bark, and it's a no-bake treat for anybody who's kind of, you know, not really super into like baking, but they still want to make something. So that's always an option that I love. So I flavored it with Amaretti flavors that I got from them. And the peppermint one in particular, you smell it when it's especially mixed with that chocolate, and it like brings you back to childhood with the peppermint mochas and peppermint hot chocolates and all that kind of stuff. So it smells delicious. Okay, we have our second color here, and we're going to add it to our mold just like the other one. We're not going to worry too much about the base because it does have that extra little pooling that happened. We want to make sure to reinforce the sides so that it makes it a little bit stronger. And like I mentioned, you don't have to worry about making it look pretty on the inside because nobody's going to see it. And you could definitely do the chocolate technique of where you like fill the mold and then you dump everything out. But I like doing this when I have a couple different colors that I'm working with because I don't want to risk, you know, possibly blending them when I don't want them to blend. Okay, a little bit more on this one. A little bit more. Okay, I'm happy with that. So we're into, let's do our offset spatula really quick just to kind of clean this up. Just a smidge. Okay. We're gonna pop this back in the freezer again and make sure it's nice and set before we try and pop this out. Okay, and then we're gonna set our colors to the side for right now, but we might need to grab those out to seal it. We don't need our pan. Okay, let's get our chocolate ready. And I love, my favorite flavor of hot chocolate is arguably, or one of them I should say, is the Swiss Miss dark chocolate indulgence one. It tastes really, really good. This one is probably a close second. There's something about the salted caramel that's just always so tasty, especially if you make it into like a mocha. That's my favorite way to enjoy any kind of hot chocolate stuff lately, is mixing it with coffee. But then you don't have to add any like cream or sugar or anything. It's just the hot chocolate and it tastes really good. Okay. We also got our mini marshmallows ready to go. Give that a few more seconds there. Where did you get the acorn apple? From Amazon? Oh, I got that. It's a silicone mold, and I got it from Joann's, actually. That's where probably almost half of my molds are either most likely from Amazon or Joann's, is typically where everything comes from. So that particular one I did get from Joann's in their like seasonal baking section, which I haven't been there for like a few weeks, I think. So if they have some, they might still have some in their, I highly doubt that they have not put a bunch of their Christmas stuff out. So, he loved Joanne, they need to send you stuff. I know, right? I started to look into signing up with them as like a content creator influencer type thing, because that's something that I am, of course, working on because I need to make a living. But I definitely, with Joann's in particular, I tag them in almost every single thing I post, particularly on Instagram, where you can actually, tag companies. And yeah, that they are probably right there with Wilton on almost every single post that I do. So I definitely, they haven't paid attention to me on Instagram, but maybe if I reach out to them directly, they'll be like, oh, hey, we've seen all your stuff. But that's the dream. If I could work with Joann's, it'd be like, oh my God, I could never work at Joann's because I'd be spending all my money on everything that I see. But, cause just in general, I've had a love of crafting since I was a kid. So not only the food crafting stuff they have, but also craft stuff that they have too. So it's like my little happy place. But yes, I am, they do have their holiday baking section. So that's one of them. Let's get everyone to tag them in the comments. I'm curious, they might have a YouTube channel. Interesting. I like where you're going. Okay, let's grab our Acorn thing out really quick. Yes, that's the dream. I forget that they have, I think they do have a YouTube channel where they have some like tutorial stuff, but yes, that would be lovely. Okay, we're starting to slowly separate this from the sides very carefully. Especially this little piece up here is going to be a tiny bit tricky. Same thing with this one. Sometimes it's easier to get the ones on like the corners out because you have more room for, popping it out, whereas this one's kind of enclosed a little bit. Oh, that one decided to crack a little bit at the tip. It's okay, we're gonna roll with it. Come on. Haha. Okay, got a little bit of cracking right there, but overall pretty good. And, oop. Okay, let's finish popping this one out. No! I was too quick with that part. It's okay though. Stick our mold over there. Overall, it turned out pretty good, except for my little rushing on that part. Here, let's do a little, grab a smaller brush. We're gonna do a quick little repair on it. So we can add some chocolate. And I gotta quickly add this because it's starting to set since it was in the freezer. And then, of course, if I'm selling these to people, I'm wearing gloves, but because this is just for me. I will be melting this in this next week's Thirsty Thursday shorts video, so make sure to keep an eye out for that. Okay, that worked pretty well. All right, not too shabby for a quick little repair there. I think I still want to keep this one as like my top one, so let's see if this will match up the way I'm thinking it should. Yes, okay. Then I am going to grab my little plate. And So you can use like a hot plate or something else. This one, I've done this multiple times on these plates, so I know that these are heat safe in the way that I need them. So be very, very careful. Ideally, like I said, use a hot plate or use a hot pan from the stove or something. This is with some fire here. So I'm just warming that up. And then we're just going to clean up our edges by kind of rolling it a little bit like this. And then also need to okay. I think that looks good. And then wipe down that plate. It's already kind of cooled down. And we're going to do the same thing with our other side. And we don't want to leave it on there long enough to melt too much, just enough to kind of clean up these sides. And then I like to put it down on parchment paper. And then we can still use some of our candy melts to kind of like seal the whole thing. So some people like to do this melting part and then immediately stick it together. I'm not a fan of that personally because I never have success with that. I always end up having some kind of little, you know, holes or something like that where hot chocolate powder escapes. I want to be able to like shake that thing and have nothing fall out. So we are going to, I think I'm using this one as my bottom. And see, it's already set super quick because it's not very hot when you do that. Okay, so we're going to pop these back in the microwave because we're gonna need both colors. And we're going to do, maybe like 20 seconds. And we might need to pop the dark melts back in there for a little bit longer. But in the meantime, we're going to fill this in with our hot chocolate powder. I'm trying to go for the whole, whoop, that started to come out really fast. Okay. Oh, and then before I forget, don't forget to follow my friend in the comments there. Her page is called A Frosted Life. And she has a YouTube channel. So make sure to check her out and go subscribe. Okay, yeah. These ones need a little bit more time. These ones look like they're pretty good to go. Yes, that's good to me. We're gonna stick these other ones back in there for another 15 to 20 seconds. Okay, so we're able to fill it with most of our hot chocolate powder, but I don't want to risk it and fill it too much. This one, we're going to add some of our candy melts and we're going to stick some of our marshmallows in there. So this is a great way if you want to be able to get more stuff into the second half because of course you can only stack this so high. We're going to fill in this other half by using the candy melts as a way to kind of adhere it to the inside of the shell. And what do you guys love with your with your hot chocolate? Are you a marshmallow person? Or are you a whipped cream person? If the mood strikes me, I'm both. But usually there's something about marshmallows and hot chocolate that's just always so satisfying to me. I know that usually you see like, you know, whipped cream on top, but. Okay. A little bit more melts just to make sure that it kind of keeps them in there. why not 2 more little marshmallows here? Okay, 1 more. Okay. I'm trying to squish these down so that they're not going to be interfering too much with our hot chocolate powder. I have a tendency to overfill things because I get very excited. Both, yes. Marshmallows for the win, of course. That's my sister saying marshmallows for the win. Let me see, what do I want to grab? Let's grab our melts out of the microwave. And I'm also going to grab a glove because I do like to do this part sometimes with the glove on, even if it's just for me. Okay. So we're close to finishing up our hot chocolate bomb here. And I just had an idea. Okay. So I'm gonna grab another, I forgot to get the chocolate off of there, so I'll just clean that in a little bit. Some warm or like hot water gets it off really easily. I'm gonna grab 2 other little brushes here. And I'm gonna use it to add a little bit of melts along the inside kind of top part here. So does not have to be pretty. And it's not as cold now, so it's not going to set as fast as like that second layer set. I'm saying set a lot. Just right along there. And then we're going to repeat, I can't talk today. Woo, it's Friday. We're going to repeat with our other color along the second bottom part here. Okay, working quickly before things set. And with upcoming projects, I do have some fun random hot chocolate bomb things that I want to make, so keep an eye out for those. That will not necessarily be holiday themed, but this is like the season of hot chocolate bombs, so it's the perfect time to share. Make sure this is nice and even here. Make sure it's lined up as best as possible. Oop, oh. It happens sometimes. Okay. We lost a little bit of hot chocolate powder there. Usually I don't add this much hot chocolate powder, but I really want that salted caramel flavor to come through. You could even fill this with a few little caramels. Would be super tasty. Okay, I'm just gonna flip this right on top. And we're going to match it up and then do our melt while it's all matched up like this. Things happen sometimes, and the good thing is that hot chocolate bombs are not too difficult to fix. Okay, so I'm going to start with my dark chocolate here. I'm going to go along the sides and fill in this little gap here. Using a lot of extra chocolate, and then I'm just going to, and then we have our top little piece came off here. The reason I like to have the glove on, and like I said before, I know someone might jump in the comments later, this is for me. Some people get very weird about that on the internet. Okay, so just trying to fill in all the little gap right there. Just like that. That's why I like the glove, because it'll smooth it out a little bit better than if you're just, you know, with your regular fingers. But before I touch the hot chocolate bomb again, I like to either rinse or wipe my hands off in between, because I don't want to accidentally get some of our dark melts onto our lighter melts here to ruin our acorn look. So we're going to continue adding some more chocolate here to get these two pieces to come together. Ooh, oh, this one is like, doesn't want to cooperate today. Let me see if I can add. A nice hefty layer of chocolate here. See if that'll get it to stick a little bit better. This is completely my first time making an acorn hot chocolate bomb, so bear with me. I just got this mold. Well, I got it a little, probably like a month ago, but I'm finally just breaking it out. I have a quite extensive mold collection at this point, because I'm always like, oh, that's so cute. I have so many ideas. Let's stick that back on before that sets. I can kind of brush away some of this excess to clean it up a bit. And we're gonna go and fill in any little, whoops, stop leaning. Okay, this one, there we go. The hot chocolate powder got off a little bit. But you can also use like a little teeny tiny dish to kind of prop it up. That's what I do with my spheres sometimes. And then we have a whole little area of gaps right here. So we're going and adding in some chocolate melts. And then smoothing it out. Okay. And we're going to repeat with our lighter color there, and then we're almost done. Okay. Okay, just doing the same thing, going and filling in all the little gaps. And then smoothing that out. And some people like to add sprinkles along this line. I'm not a fan of that. I feel like it draws attention to where, you know, it covers it up, but it draws attention at the same time. So I've just never been a fan of that. But you can certainly do that. That's just my personal preference when it comes to the look of the hot chocolate bombs. Okay, finish up our other side here, which needs to be brushed off a little bit. Okay. And same thing as before, we're going in and kind of pressing our hot chocolate powder in there. Okay. Okay, and there's what it looks like from the top. And to finish this one off, I think I want to add a little bit of edible glitter. Okay, this had a teensy bit of a learning curve with getting, like, putting them together. But like I said, you could also just keep it a little bit simple and only do each half as an individual hot chocolate bomb. But I think it turned out pretty good. Let's move our candy melts here. And we can add just a little bit of edible glitter. And there we go. That is our live today. Does anyone else have anything they'd like to pop in the chat? Any questions, comments, ideas, whatever? We are almost done. I don't know, it's Friday. I'm tired too. I'm gonna set my glitter over here while I'm waiting for any last things to pop into the chat before we hop off for today. What do we have coming up? Like I mentioned, I'm working on a couple of fall decorating, baking type things. So keep an eye out for those for tutorials. In terms of shorts, of course, every day. I will start to have a mixture of both, you know, like nice fall stuff and also Christmas. And then what else do we have coming up? Like I mentioned, next week's live is going to be moved, so I will let you guys know when that is going to happen. And I think that's about it for right now. But thank you guys so much for joining the live today. I really appreciate you being here and hopping in the chat. And I will see you guys very soon. I hope you have an awesome weekend. And yeah, see you guys soon. Bye.